Someone close to me in my life recently brought up something that really triggered me, honestly, and in the moment, I don't think I realized how much it kind of derailed my entire rest of my night, but it had me thinking, like, I wonder why I care so much about this, and it really does show the desire I have to be validated by other people and to just be liked by a community, by to feel accepted. And basically what happened is my friend, one of my close friends, has another friend of theirs that has one of the worst reputations I've ever encountered in my life. Like, not one good thing I had heard about this person. Literally none. Like, and I'm not over exaggerating. Like, this person does not have a good thing on their name that I knew about, okay? So, long story short, I like judge my friend heavily for this, especially in the beginning. I'm like, why are you associated with this person? Like, this is kind of weird. I then end up meeting the friend in person, the close friend and their friend, who's like heavily judged. And I was expecting this person to be like sadistic. I had seen them throughout like my school, duh, but they just like made it seem like this person was like instantly gonna trigger me or like instantly just be a problem wherever they went. And they were fine. Like, they did a couple things like in response to some like remarks I had that I was like, oh, that's a little odd that you're saying that, but like, don't we all say odd things, like, truly? And it really had me thinking, like, oh my god, like, this person gets judged so heavily and they really weren't that bad. I understand it was one hangout and like the people who know who I'm talking about, like, probably have like gone through something with this person. And it's always hard to be that friend where it's like you're friends with two people who completely do not like each other. But uh, I I was fine with them. Like, they really were fine. I find out today. I'm like hanging out with my friend. I'm in the car. It's been like a really good time, obviously. And we somehow get into the topic of like people who didn't like me, right? And my friend was like, "Oh, yeah, the person who I like heavily judged before and like is heavily judged. They said that like they thought you had a really bad reputation, but like they wanted to wait to meet you in person to see if that was true." I was thinking to myself and I was like, "Me? Me? I That sounds so incredibly like self-absorbed and selfish, but I really was thinking about it and I was like, I can't think of a bad thing on my name other than like I harped too much on my ex for way too long of a time, like truly way too long of a time, and I like kind of made it a part of my personality at some point. Or like I just don't respond to messages fast. Like, I literally couldn't think of what someone could say about me that was that bad where it was like, oh, she has a bad reputation. I think it's kind of funny that it was that person who said that because it's almost like we were mirroring each other. It was like a parallel. Like, we both thought the same thing about each other and maybe like heard similar things, but then once we met each other, it was completely fine. I was like, I just was really shocked. And I think it kind of shows that, like, even me, like, I fully thought and assumed, like, by what other people told me and what I had heard, because it was such, like, a mass amount of people. It really was. Like, it sounds awful, and it is awful, like, that many people, like, are truly against this person. But I feel like it's valid for me to feel like it was for a reason. Even if I didn't personally know that person, I was like, oh, there has to be something bad with them. Like, there has to be something that triggered all of these people around me. Honestly, I think I might have gotten it from the wrong people, like the information about that person, because once again, I met them in person and I understand it was only one hangout, but they were fine. Like, they really were fine. And it's just so judgmental. Like, you just can't escape it, really. I don't think you really can at this age, but and obviously things like spin out of proportion really easily, and I think that just happened with that person. And I was talking to the close friend about it and they were like, yeah, honestly, I don't think the reputation they have is deserved. And I was like, that probably is correct. Because then I thought about myself and I was, first of all, in shock that they had heard I had a bad reputation, especially like knowing who their friends were. I was like, who told you who told you that? Cuz none of them know me. And that's exactly the point. None of them know me. Like, they literally do not know me. I have not talked to these people. It literally is only what they've heard from others. And that's exactly the point. Like, that's exactly the problem. I knew nothing about this person, like the super judged person. Nothing. I only heard what other people had to say. And although it was like a mass amount of people, it still wasn't enough for me to fully write them off as a bad person or to say they have a bad character, but I did. I fully would talk to my friends about this person, like, to be like, oh, sadistic, like something's wrong with them. And a lot of the times I would say things where I was like, oh, they look so annoying, or like just like plain rude things, like just me being rude. And it made me realize that I was like, people do the same shit with me. It's inevitable, like, and I understand. If you have a close friend of yours who knows something about the other person or heard something about the other person, you're gonna trust that close friend. Or even if you like drama. If you like drama and you want to get in on everything, you know, or hear about what a specific person has done or has been through, or, oh, what did they say? Like, you want to know about it. And a lot of that is really detrimental, especially to the person who finds out. I can't even imagine what the friend of my friend has been through or what they've heard about themselves. Even if some of the bad things they've done is true, it sucks that their information is out, because that probably means that they confided in someone and they fully just screwed them over. Or it's just as like people are just saying made up shit, entirely made up, because the person, like, I don't know, pissed them off or like something about them gave them the ick. It really is just to show that, like, you can hear everything about a person. You can assume things. Your best friend can tell you, like, oh, they did X, Y, and Z. This is why you shouldn't be friends with them. But it's like, until you meet that person and until you actually have a conversation with that person, why are you talking to them like that? Why are you talking about them like that? It's really rude and very just desensitized. It's very much teenager behavior. It's very much a thing where I'm like, oh, this makes so much sense as to why we're doing it right now, but it still is a hurtful thing. I'm sure all of us will grow out of it, but overall, like, if I was so affected by even hearing that that person who I've heard so many bad things about thought I had a bad reputation, it's like, words matter, and, you know, spreading things about other people matter also. I've talked shit. Everyone has talked shit. Duh. But at least be right about what you're talking shit about. Because with my situation, like, me talking shit about that person was only because other people did it. Genuinely. Or only because I heard something about them that sounded insane. But did I actually know it? No. I still don't really know if any of those things that happened are even related to that person. Like, it just is all very stupid. Like, you can assume things all you want. It can be like fun and like, oh, filled with drama, but if that gets around and gets back to the person, you're just mean. You're just talking shit to talk shit. Imagine if everything you said, everyone you've talked shit about, everyone you've said something mean about, everyone you've given a nasty look about, like, all then came back to you. Genuinely, how would you feel? And I'm not trying to be corny or, like, I don't know. I'm simply saying, like, it just is stupid and it's mean and it's rude, and I've suffered from that, and I'm sure that person has suffered from it. Like, it's all just to say, and the funny thing too is that, like, once we did see each other in person, I'm pretty sure we both were like, oh, we're fine, like, it's okay. Even if you don't mesh with the person that well, really no reason to talk shit about them. If you're trying to hop on, like, a bandwagon of hate, look at some internet drama, you're good. Like, get on some docuseries, promise you can find someone almost everyone hates. Like, it's fine. But yeah, like, the friend of mine, the close friend of mine, also mentioned that another person had said the same thing. They said they forgot, like, who it was, but one of their, like, closer friends was like, oh yeah, I heard, like, Skylar has, like, a really bad reputation. And I was like, what are we talking about? Like, it really did baffle me. Because, once again, like, there's really only a couple things I can think of where I'm like, oh, yeah, I would judge me too. But, like, I, it then leads me to think, and this is about me like caring too much. Like I really do care too much because then I go into it and I'm like, oh, but like who exactly said this about me? And I can think of like friend groups or guys that I've dated, or I don't know, people who have heard things from those people say shit about me, and I just know it's not valid. That's kind of why I'm like, I don't know why I'm caring so heavily, because once again, if you haven't talked to me personally, if you don't have my number, like genuinely, if you don't have my number, like if you don't talk with me on like a weekly basis at least, I don't understand why you're judging me that heavily, genuinely. Uh, and talking shit to the point where it's like you get a whole friend group to like ban against me. Because that's happened. That's definitely happened. And that's happened to that person that I was talking about. Like, it just is all so stupid and very mean girl behavior. Because a lot of the time it's going to be girls. Like, in high school especially, there's going to be guys that are shitty and awful and, like, will specifically choose to make fun of you. They're below girl drama, I feel. That, to me, like, the things that I've been through regarding guys, that's very much below me. I almost immediately write them off as stupid, like, knowing what I know now. But with girls, it's almost more intricate to me. I'm like, we're supposed to be on the same like wavelength and level of things, and we're just not. And the fact that, you know, we're not in like band together by just being girls, like by going through what we have to go through on a daily basis because of society, like us not being close knit is almost like shocking to me. I don't mean close knit as in like being best friends with each other. I just mean like if you're judging me on shit that women have to deal with regularly in society that like is genuinely a problem, you suck. You literally suck. Like I don't know what to tell you. It's rude. I feel like it should cause a person to have some self-reflection, because it's not like I haven't done those things, but then you have to think about it. Like you literally have to then think to yourself and be like, is that really true about that person? Like, am I really saying something that I fully believe in my heart is to be true about them? Like, it's not, and it's rude. I keep saying that, but it's true. It's like the best word I can think of for that. But yeah, I think it's to show also that the reason that friend groups and people will talk such heavy shit about you and then want everyone around them to believe that same thing that they've spread is so they can feel less insecure about themselves. Again, like, I'm not trying to sound like a counselor. It just literally is true. Like, they want to feel less insecure about themselves. Let me get a band of people together to then also dislike you. Like, let me take one thing about someone's personality and then make it into their whole character, even though I don't know that person. Like, it's just to feel a sense of community and a sense of power, you know? You have the upper hand. But you don't. You will never have the upper hand if you're talking shit about someone, especially if it's on, like, an insecurity they have. Or especially if it's on, like, something that hurt them. It's stupid, and it's petty, and it's unnecessary, really. But anyways, don't judge people if you don't know the full story. Really don't spread shit about people if you don't know the whole story. You're perpetuating the same thing that could then get back to that person, and you have no idea how that can affect them. You really don't. Stay kind, stay blessed. Peace out.